like to say I put the same effort in every film of mine. See, I'm too busy scaring people, so I don't ever get time to get scared. I think, me and Mani don't like each other's films. I don't ever have differences because I don't consider anybody worthy enough to have differences. I'm a very selfish and self-centered guy. I'm using people for the benefit of what I want from that film. See, I would say Shah Rukh is a performer. Like when I meet Shah Rukh, I find him more entertaining in person than any of his films. Now, if remaking Sholay became if a remake it might become Sholay. If he was given the script of Satya, I think he would have done it better. Whereas if I did Slumdog Millionaire, I would have done it worse. That's a trick question.
Karan Johar tweeted a few days back, "Early morning dreams come true. I dreamt I was watching Phunk 2 and holding Ram Gopal Varma's hand in fear. Is this a possibility?" Ram Gopal Varma replied the same day, "Well, I don't know about Phunk 2, but I'm scared of the Karan Johar hand holding part." First of all, pleasure having you back on Bollywood Hungama, Mr. Varma. There's a perception that both of you guys have a super sense of humor, first of all. And there's a perception that had you planned all this? Because suddenly Phunk 2 was everywhere because people were talking about it.
See, absolutely no one can plan things like this. I think Karan just kind of, because the whole point of Twitter world, I would assume, is that whatever you felt like it and you just feel like it, you just like to share a thought. Obviously, being the popular person he is, it would come to me. So I'm not into the tweeting world as much. So it's like a conversation somebody is having and somebody says and somebody puts an answer to that. And just because of the technology, it kind of becomes a public domain. In fact, I haven't met Karan in the last probably in 6 months, I would think so. So there's no plan or anything. I think it's...
Okay, and there was a photograph of both you guys kind of together as well.
Really? I didn't see that. No.
There was a photograph. You had attached a link as well.
No, not.
There was a tweet photo.
No. That's what I'm saying. That actually that's not run by me. That's just a fake ID. I did say that, but that again that was put in the Twitter later.
Okay.
Yeah.
But both you and Karan, you've had this word play around it. It's a healthy kind of, I think, word play that both of you guys have.
Yeah, correct.
Something about Phunk 2. A lot has been said that it's the scariest film ever and all. And even Vikram Bhatt really kind of mocked it a few days back and all that. Those claims are made by Ram Gopal Varma, that kind of thing. How do you define a scariest film ever?
I mean, first of all, I never say it's the scariest film ever. So, in fact, I don't think any filmmaker can say that it's the scariest film ever.
I believe there's some contest or something that you're planning to have.
See, any filmmaker eventually can make a film what interests him. And whether it is this or that or whatever it is for the people to say. There will be some people who say Bhoot, some people think is very scary. Some people, they don't think so. Some other people think something else. And second point is the contest you're talking about. A lot of people have this thing, I'm not going to scare of horror film. And I don't think Phunk 2 will scare me. So a guy who challenges that, we are intending to put him in a theater and put an ECG machine attached to him. And if it measures the heart rate and out of intense fear, the heartbeat goes up. Even though he will lie saying that I didn't get scared, his heart can't lie. That's the whole point. So anybody who can control his heartbeat from fluctuating out of fear while watching, he will get a certain prize money.
If he suffers a cardiac arrest or something like that?
That he has to write an indemnity bond and we are taking all those cares, yeah.
Phunk, I think, was a surprise hit. It surprised almost everybody, the trade pundits and everybody or whatever. I think the budget was the way it was, but it was quite a big success. It came as a surprise to everybody. Were you surprised per se?
A film is you're taking a series of decisions over a long period of time, and each decision you're taking on that day are going to be influenced by various factors which might not come in totality in the same way as you originally saw. Why would any filmmaker waste 1 year of his 1 year, 2 years of his effort and time for something which in 2 hours everybody seems to know is bad or whatever they call? So I would like to say I put the same effort in every film of mine, but how it will shape up eventually is not really as much in my control as what people might imagine it to be. So I would say I would have had the same trust in a Phunk compared to any other film I made.
Today in the newspapers there's this news that you're directing another film which is called God and Sex.
Yeah.
Very interesting subject on all the swamis who are kind of getting into all these sex scandals these days and all. That's a very topical subject, and what exactly is it all about?
I always been observing this. I mean, ever since I was a kid, so many babas and swamis keep coming, and I know so many relatives of mine who go and meet and kind of become disciples or devotees or whatever you call. Many a time you also hear that guy turned out to be a fraud, this guy turned out to be this, there's some scandal here, there is some brokerage scandal politically, there is a sex scandal, all kinds of things around the so-called God men. So I thought it's high time you just make a film just to see what causes the phenomena of God men and to be forced forced to live with that image because he needs to maintain that for the believability in the devotees. But being a human being, he will succumb to some kind of a need and a desire and a vulnerability which all human beings are prone to, out of which sex could be one. I just want to take a hard-hitting look behind the ashram, what happens behind the closed doors of the so-called ashram of the godman.
Can we see some titillation and all that?
I would think it will be a part of the story. Overall point of the film is to basically take a hard-hitting look at what the phenomenon of godman, in terms of it would be very, in the course of that, yes, that would be there, but that is not the intention of the film.
Mr. Varma, we have taken a few questions from your fans on Twitter. They have some, I think, interesting things to say about that. Kunal007, with Company being such a massive hit, why didn't you plan a sequel? Do you get to see Ajay Vivek together soon?
अब तक जो खून इस कंपनी को बनाने में लगा ना, वो एक खून इस कंपनी को बर्बाद करने में लगेगा। मलिक, तू और तेरी ये कंपनी खलास।
I'm definitely planning to make something on the lines, I won't say a sequel because, see, I'm making a film. If company is an underworld organization, what is opposing it is the police world. So I want to make a film like Company and set it in the police department. I would describe the other side of Company. I think the difference I realized is if the underworld organization has a don, the police world doesn't have a don, it has a department. So I want to call the film Department.
I think you've tried something with Ab Tak Chapan.
I wouldn't say. I think it is one isolated part in Ab Tak Chapan in terms of an encounter cops, half biopic docudrama kind of film. The department would be much larger in its perspective because it is dealing with the entire hierarchical and the organization of how it functions. So basically, with the help of a certain story and certain characters, you're going to, on the background, understand the entire functioning of the department.
We'll take up one more. It is by Veerappa, and he said that is RGV still doing the film project on Veerappan?
Yeah, that's also still in the scripting stage. As soon as Rakta Chaitra is over, we should be able to move on it.
Okay, but you will make that film?
I will not be directing.
But you'll produce it?
Yeah.
I am Tanvi. A new genre you'd like to attempt, and though you make horror films, is there something that scares you?
See, I'm too busy scaring people, so I don't ever get time to get scared, I think, So the moment I get in a situation when I'm feeling scared because of whatever is happening, the directorial mind takes over and I convert it to some script and scene. So I'm busy trying to adapt it into how I can scare people using this.
Muiz, he has a question. Anurag Kashyap once said that no one leaves Ramu, Ramu leaves them. So why did he ditch him and what happened to Factory?
First of all, I never captured anybody to leave them. This is a working relationship. Now the Factory is a name of an office. It's not a company. So where I am is the factory because the work comes from me. So there is no meaning to the word where is the factory. I am the factory.
But still, the kind of differences you've had, say, with the Manoj Bajpayee or even Anurag Kashyap to a certain extent, quite a few people have.
That's what I'm saying. I don't have.
But you've given so many chances to so many newcomers as well.
I don't ever have differences because I don't consider anybody worthy enough to have differences. They might have differences because of various. I can't speak for them. That is all as far as they are concerned. I never ever gave chances to anybody. I took chances. There's a lot of difference there. See, I would consider I'm giving a chance to somebody when my intention is to further that man's career. I don't have those lofty intentions. I'm a very selfish and self-centered guy. I'm using people for the benefit of what I want from that film. So once I get what I want, I will move on to something else. And the day I want them, I myself will go back to them. And that's their wish, whether they want to work or not. And this is what I've been maintaining for 20 years ever since I started my career. But no one listens. So there's nothing I can do about it.
But when you see Anurag Kashyap or say even Dibakar Banerjee, many people, I think you see references of your work in their current film. Does it flatter you?
I think there's an ongoing process in terms of I would have learned from someone. I would have been very influenced by certain directors, let's say, before I became a director. And you will see shades of that. Or then the next guys come in and they would be influenced by me or X or Y or Z, depending upon their thing. Somebody might be get influenced by Karan Johar, somebody might be influenced by someone else, somebody else maybe by me. So I think that's a kind of a natural process of in any field.
We'll take one more. It is by Nagendra Aethal. And he says that which is best movie you ever made, according to you?
For me, it can never be a best because I can't see a movie in totality because I know where I
maybe more satisfying
from. That's what I'm saying. In totality, I can't say that because let's say, for example, you like